Hi everybody, it's Alex here. Today I'm doing a tutorial on how to contour. And not just like regular kind of normal contouring, but I wanted to go for a more extreme version of contouring. Something you see a lot on the runway, something you see a lot on drag queens, something you see when people do character makeup. Basically anything on the stage where you're going to really have to make it noticeable for the audience to see anything. And it's contouring, especially the cheekbone, is something that is incorporated in a lot of high fashion looks. So I thought that I would make one of my first tutorials on how to contour so that if I ever reference to it, I can just send you right to this video. So keep watching if you want to find out how to get your cheekbones popping. Now I'm going to do some of the contouring that I was talking about earlier. First I'm going to go in with a lighter brown shade, and I'm going to use this M.A.C 168 brush. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sweep that all along and then blend up. And the eyeshadow, I'm actually using an eyeshadow for this part, and it's Cork by M.A.C. So I'm just taking that in my brush. And the great thing about this brush is that it is shaped in such a way that if you have any natural cheekbone at all, it'll naturally just kind of fill in right wherever it is. So you go over it like that, and then you're gonna blend, so you don't get a harsh line, because really, this is all about getting a gradient kind of look. And so blending is super important in creating dimension. I'm gonna go to my other side and blend up. It's also important to extend it all the way back too. A lot of people I see when they do their contouring, they'll stop like right here, or even, well, not that far up, but they'll stop too close to where they were trying to do it, and it really just, it looks kind of crazy because that bone naturally extends all the way back up into your skull. You want to make sure also that you're blending forward far enough too. Now you want it to be lighter up towards the front of the cheekbone, because you don't want a crazy streak running all the way forward. But you want to make sure that that's going forward as well. So now that we have that on the way that I like it, I'm going to go in and I'm going to add a second layer and then blend it out. So I'm going to use M.A.C Harmony Blush for this. It's a blusher. If on my skin tone I'm light enough that I can use it for a contour color. It's really great. I'm going in, this is actually from the Sephora IT collection. M.A.C does a brush like this. I'm not sure what the number is, but I'll put it down in the sidebar below. I really like these for really getting in. You can see that gets right into the hollow of the cheek. Right exactly where I want it, whereas the 168 brush from M.A.C is going to give you a little bit larger coverage and go more up the cheekbone. So you can already see that that's really starting to carve out that cheekbone. And the nice thing about these brushes is if you really want to get in there and chisel, you can use just the side part and really place it exactly where you want it and then blend out. And do the same thing on the other side. Do more of a rounded shape. If you wanted to do something more masculine, you could always bring it down that way and kind of create more of a jawline to look more masculine. But I generally, when I do contouring, I give myself more of a rounded contour to pop that cheekbone, especially when I'm working on female clients. And because I'm already so gaunt, I like to have a little bit more fullness in my cheeks. And then again blending up into that cork that we already put on there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Makeup Forever HD foundation. I already did my foundation, but this is a foundation that's more than a couple of shades lighter than mine. With contouring, you're going to want to make sure that whatever you do on bottom, you also do on top to keep that illusion going. So if you're making it seem like this is really sunken in. Then when the light hits it, obviously it's going to be really strong on top. So I just have a little dab of that in my hand. I don't know, I put it on the front of my hand. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to use that stippling brush. I'm going to wipe off a lot of the excess product. And I'm just going to stipple that in right on top of my cheekbones. Make sure I get all the extra. And then buff that in. And that's just going to help give us a little bit more dimension on top. It's also going to let us blend a little bit. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit, and this is obviously for more of an extreme contour, like if you if you're doing character makeup, or if you are going to do something very high fashion, just feeling a little bit more adventurous. I'm going to take an even darker color. This is the Bare Minerals palette, and I'm using this color right here, which is Apropos. I'm taking that, it's just a darker brown. I'm using a 224 brush, which is perfect for just getting in there. Tapping off the extra, I'm just going right at the base to darken that up. Because it is all about layering and blending and creating that gradient to give it more dimension. You can see it's pretty strong. So then I'm going to go back with my Sephora Dome brush and I'm going to blend like a madman. Making these sweeping motions so that that comes and gives me more of a rounded cheek look, and blending back up into my hairline to pop out your cheekbones even more. Now if you really want to get your cheeks like really defined, another way is you can take a little bit of your contour color and just pop that right around your temples to make them recede a little bit and make it look like your cheekbone pops out even further. So you just place it and then blend it up and over. And you see how that really makes it pop now. I'm going to go back with my foundation brush and just sweep that over there to keep the shape. Putting a little bit more product on it that was left over in my hand. And then I'm going to go in, final step, with a little bit of M.A.C Pearl Cream. This stuff is amazing. It's one of my favorite highlighters. And I'm just going to take a little bit on my finger. I'm just going to dab it over the apples of my cheeks. So right where the sun would naturally kind of hit anyways. I'm just going to accentuate that. Just going to help pop it out even further. So now I am going in with that same foundation I used earlier. It would probably be better to use one that's your skin tone, but I've got this on my hand, so I'm going to use it, and I'm just cleaning up underneath that line so that it really gets a clean start here and then gradient upwards. So that gives you that sharp angularity, which is totally what this look is all about. There we go. I'm going to blend a little bit more down on this side. And there you have it. This is the finished look. You can see those cheekbones are crazy, darling. Looking amazing. So there you go. I hope that was helpful, and I will see all of you guys super soon. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe.